Welcome everyone. Today we embark on an in-depth exploration of a profound homeopathic remedy, Colocynthis. Derived from the dried pulp of Citrullus colocynthis, commonly known as bitter apple, Colocynthis holds a significant place in homeopathy. It is particularly renowned for its efficacy in addressing acute abdominal pain, spasmodic conditions, neuralgias, and emotional disturbances linked to suppressed anger and indignation. This remedy beautifully illustrates homeopathy's holistic approach, emphasizing the intricate link between mind and body. Colocynthis is prepared through a meticulous homeopathic process that involves macerating the dried pulp of the bitter apple fruit to create a tincture. This tincture is then subjected to serial dilution and potentization through vigorous shaking or succussion, which enhances its therapeutic properties while eliminating toxicity. The result is a potent yet safe remedy used extensively in homeopathic practice. Colocynthis is deeply connected to the interplay between emotional suppression and physical suffering. It is particularly suited to individuals who internalize anger, indignation, or humiliation, which later manifests as severe spasmodic pains. Patients needing this remedy often exhibit irritability, heightened sensitivity to injustice, and a tendency to brood over perceived wrongs. A hallmark symptom of Colocynthis is agonizing abdominal pain that compels the patient to bend forward or apply firm pressure to the affected area for relief. The remedy is particularly effective for conditions involving tearing, neuralgic pains that worsen at rest, but improve with motion or firm pressure. Colocynthis is a highly effective remedy for numerous conditions, including first, abdominal pain and colic. It is used primarily for intense, colicky pains that are relieved by firm pressure or bending double. The pain may be cutting, gripping, or squeezing. Next, emotional distress and psychosomatic symptoms. It's effective for individuals experiencing physical symptoms triggered by suppressed anger or feelings of injustice. Then, neuralgia and sciatica. It's beneficial for neuralgic pains, particularly sciatica, characterized by tearing or shooting sensations, sometimes accompanied by numbness or tingling. It's also useful for menstrual and ovarian disorders, providing relief for dysmenorrhea and ovarian cysts, with pain relieved by pressure or bending double. For infant colic, it provides relief for colicky infants who instinctively draw their legs up to the abdomen. Additionally, it helps with vertigo and headaches, particularly when aggravated by eye movement or stooping. It aids in ophthalmic and auditory symptoms, including eye inflammations and ear disturbances such as roaring or throbbing sensations. Lastly, it addresses gastrointestinal disturbances like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, especially when these symptoms arise from emotional stress or indigestion. Picture a corporate executive burdened by workplace pressures, unfair criticism, lack of support, and overwhelming responsibilities. Instead of voicing his frustrations, he suppresses them, only to experience excruciating abdominal cramps upon reaching home. The pain is so severe that he instinctively presses his fists into his abdomen or lies curled up on the couch for relief. This scenario perfectly embodies the Colocynthis profile, where internalized emotions manifest as intense physical distress. Colocynthis is used differently across various demographics. For men, it is frequently used to alleviate severe abdominal cramps and neuralgic pains triggered by anger or frustration. It's also effective for conditions like sciatica or lumbago, especially with shooting pains extending down the legs. Women commonly experience relief from dysmenorrhea and ovarian neuralgia with Colocynthis, particularly when symptoms are alleviated by bending double or applying pressure. Emotional triggers such as indignation or humiliation often exacerbate their distress. Children benefit from Colocynthis for colic, especially when they instinctively draw their legs up due to pain. This remedy also helps children with symptoms induced by anger and restlessness. Moving on to additional clinical considerations, Colocynthis helps alleviate musculoskeletal afflictions like sciatica, lumbago, and joint stiffness, often characterized by tearing or cramping sensations. Sensitivity to touch is another key aspect. Even light pressure may intensify abdominal or neuralgic pain. Temporal aggravations are notable too, with symptoms often worsening around 4 p.m. or in the evening. Additionally, Colocynthis shows a left-sided affinity, where neuralgic and abdominal complaints often exhibit a preference for the left side of the body. Now, let's discuss the peculiar and confirmatory symptoms of colocynthis. One of the most distinctive symptoms is the marked relief from firm pressure or bending double. Emotional triggers such as anger, indignation, or a sense of injustice are common precursors to physical symptoms. Patients often exhibit restlessness, finding temporary relief through movement. Aggravation by food and drink is also common. Even small amounts can exacerbate symptoms. Additionally, cramping often transitions into tingling or numbness in the affected area. Finally, let's look at how colocynthis can be distinguished from similar remedies. Unlike colocynthis, bryonia patients find relief in complete rest rather than motion or pressure. While both colocynthis and chamomilla are used for colic, chamomilla patients are excessively irritable and restless, whereas colocynthis patients seek relief through firm pressure. Both colocynthis and staphysagria address suppressed anger, but staphysagria is more associated with humiliation and long-term emotional repression. Causticum and colocynthis share a sensitivity to injustice, but causticum patients tend to externalize their emotions, whereas colocynthis patients internalize them. Complementary and antidotal relationships. Antidotes. Camphor, causticum, chamomilla, coffee, staphysagria, and opium can counteract colocynthis' effects. Complementary remedies, bryonia, elaterium, and dioscorea work well alongside colocynthis, particularly for gastrointestinal issues. Mercurius complements it in dysentery cases with pronounced tenesmus, remedies that follow well. Staphysagria and mercurius. Conclusion. Colocynthis is a versatile and invaluable homeopathic remedy that bridges the gap between emotional distress and physical ailments. Its application spans various conditions from excruciating abdominal cramps and neuralgias to menstrual disorders and musculoskeletal complaints. By identifying the signature symptom picture, cramping pains relieved by pressure and bending double, practitioners can effectively harness its therapeutic potential. Disclaimer: the information provided is intended for educational purposes only and should not replace professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified homeopathic practitioner before using any remedy. Thank you for joining this exploration of colocynthis in homeopathy. If you found this discussion insightful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more enlightening content. Stay tuned for our next deep dive into holistic healing.